Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Niyah Glover. I am the chair of the Mental Health Advisory Board for Fayetteville, as also as the City Councilwoman for Fayetteville as well. We're sitting here today with Ms. Cloud. We want to welcome her today for her expertise on the area of developmental disabilities. Our March presentation tonight will focus on bridging or building bridges, inclusive practices for supporting individuals with developmental disabilities. Ms. Cloud is a dedicated advocate and experienced professional in the field of developmental disabilities. Ms. Cloud brings a wealth of knowledge in supporting individuals with developmental disabilities with a focus on promoting inclusive care as well as community engagement. So again, please join me in welcoming Ms. Cloud as she shares some valuable insights in our presentation tonight and strategies, as well as resources for the City of Fayetteville. Thank you, Ms. Cloud, for joining us, and welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm excited. Thank you, Dr. Glover and the City of Fayetteville. I'm excited to be here. I think this is an important topic that we should be talking about, and just a community program that we need to get together and just make sure that all of our community members, our needs are met. So thank you. Yes, my name is Ivory Cloud. I am a special education teacher, and I have been in the field of education for over 20 years. I also am a small business owner as well. I own Dreams of Lois Incorporated, a community nonprofit organization that we focus on community outreach, mentorship, and golf and STEM. And I am a teacher in the Fayette County school systems. I've been a teacher with Fayette County schools for nearly 10 years now, and I'm the transition lead. So I work closely. My job is to work with young adults that have special needs, and then students all in the community that have different needs, and to teach them life skills, transitional skills, pre-vocational skills, and also form community partnerships in the community. So I'm just excited to be here. And then I'm going to go over, of course, some more of my information, as well as we go through each one of these PowerPoint slides. What are developmental disabilities? Lifelong conditions impacting learning, social skills, and physical abilities. Some examples are autism, Down syndrome, ADHD, and intellectual disabilities. Symptoms can vary widely between individuals. Early intervention can improve developmental outcomes. Many individuals with developmental disabilities grow into independent and capable adults, and inclusive support systems are vital for the success. So I just want to go through each one of the slides, but I want to touch on each one of them. The disabilities look different for each individual, and you have to make sure that you are serving the whole student, the whole individual, that we meet their needs, because what may work for one individual may not work for another individual. I strongly agree, being an educator in the Fayette County school systems, early intervention definitely can vastly improve your developmental incomes. That's why there's programs such as Babies Can't Wait, where individuals can start receiving services and start attending school programs, I believe as early as 3. And then maybe a little bit earlier than that, but making sure that you have the right strategies to make sure that the student is learning to the best of their ability. Again, all different disabilities or intellectual delays or disabilities look different for each individual. For example, a student with autism may have some characteristics of an individual that may have a learning disability, but it's how you have to meet their needs of the students. And when students have been diagnosed, there is something called an IEP, an early intervention plan, and that's what will help guide and navigate their education in the educational system. So we can go to the next slide. What does it look like? Like 1 in 6 children in the US have developmental disabilities. Over 7.4 million Americans live with disabilities. Autism spectrum, approximately 2.2 of US adults. Individuals with developmental disabilities are living longer, requiring lifelong support. Community services play a crucial role in promoting independence, proper education and job support can improve the quality of life. I think this is extremely important. Part of the work that I do in the REACH program, so I'm the teacher for the REACH program. So it stands for Reaching Educational and Career Heights. So where I work with young adults with disabilities, and I teach them lifelong skills, pre-vocational skills, work skills, employment skills, transitional skills, because it's very important. Some things that we may think that some of the students need to be able to know, we have to teach those skills. What does it look like when we need to cook a proper and healthy meal? How does it look like when we go to apply for a job application? What do I need to wear? What skills do I have? So a lot of people think, unfortunately, sometimes people think that that some of the students are not able to do certain skills, which is absolutely not true. All disabilities are beautiful, and it's important that we embrace each one and we hone in on the skills that the students can do. So one of the things that I love to do in my program is, and we even talked about it today, was just what skills do we have and what skills are we able to do very successful? Because sometimes, even just as as a typical developing individual, we may think like, oh man, I can't do that, I'm not a great person. But we have to switch that around and think positive. What skills do I have? So part of what we do in the REACH program is I form community, let's say, bridging the gaps between the community and the educational system. So I work with different community businesses, such as City Hall. I remember about 6 or 7 years ago, I approached Mayor Johnson, the city manager, Ray Gibson, the human resource director, Niyah, Miss Niyah, and we were able to come up, and I said, hey, we have this great idea. We have some students that have disabilities, but we need them to be showcased, all their amazing abilities to be showcased. And what better place that we can showcase their how can we work with the city of Fayetteville? So Mayor Johnson, Niyah, Mr. Ray, everybody was absolutely on board, and we just came up with a plan on how we can support our students. So now we intern for almost 7 years now with the city of Fayetteville, working. For years, we worked in different departments. We were able to scan documents in, we were able to shred documents, help prepare for some of the amazing events that the cities have to offer, and all while the students were getting these skills, the city was seeing how much of a benefit it is when they work closely with the school systems in the community. So we can go to the next slide, and I'll get into a little bit more of that as well. So the challenges in education, there's learning gaps results in lower academic performances, a stigma and mixed conceptions often limit opportunities. Again, like I stated before, sometimes people in our community think that just because you may have a disability or we may look or learn a little bit different, we are not able to do the job. And that's absolutely not the case. Our training and our skills just look a little bit different, and we just need to have some patience and like some mentorships and job coaches. Also, limited access to accommodations hinders progress. So we need to make sure that we are meeting the students where they are. So if they need additional time to complete a task, then we need to give them additional time to complete a task. Doesn't mean they can't do it. They just need additional time. Social exclusion and bullying are common concerns in this community as well. Sometimes people seem like, of course, there is a stigma that some people may have when it comes to that because they're different, I don't want to be associated with that. And that's not it. Differences make the world a beautiful place. So by embracing the differences that individuals have, that's how the communities grow and thrive. Another example, by working with City Hall for the past 7 years, it's been an amazing partnership because now the city has employed 4 of our amazing students. And these students are employed, they're city employees. Of course, they receive the same pay and benefits that everyone does. And we have a student now who has been working and scanning documents in and learning great skills. He's been there, I think, of at least 6 years. And we've had other students that have been there a year or two, and they've been doing fabulous. So that's been a great partnership. We also have amazing partnerships with the Your Pie Fayetteville location, where the students are learning all the skills they need to open up and prepare the restaurants for customers. Also, Italian Oven and Peachtree City is another partnership. And we were just fortunate to earn a new partnership through the Wear Me promotions, where the students are learning the retail side, how to organize a store. based on the sizes, based on the textures, based on the different clothing that they have in the store. How do we organize this? How do we fold? How do we count? How do we make sure that we have everything in order for the customers to come in and have a great experience? Also, strong IEPs. Of course, this is very important for our families. I love the part with Fayette County Schools, and just being a special education teacher, we are very big on it's a team effort. And when they say that it's a team effort, it is. It has to be between the families as well as the teachers for us to come up with this individual education plan. So that way we are all working together as a team to meet the needs of our students. Inclusive teaching methods help bridge the learning gaps by making sure that the students are not just in a certain classroom all day, but they're going out and they're being included in all the activities that the school system has to offer, the proms, the different sports activities, the activities that they're having, like for senior week, of all activities that are being presented to the schools, the kids are absolutely able to be included in that. And we want to promote that. Being inclusive in the art classrooms, the English classes, the math, that's very important to and vital to their to the students' growth, their social growth, as well as their confidence. It's definitely a confidence builder being included because everybody wants to be included and felt welcomed. We can go to the next slide. That would be great. This is great. Challenges in employment. Only 34% of adults with developmental disabilities are employed, and often it's only part-time status. Part of the work that I do in the REACH program, I actually want to change this. You know, it's very, very important that we change the stigma that goes along with this. How can we meet the student or the individual where they are? What skills do they have? They're great at counting, organizing skills. Hey, they're great at working these money skills. They can work the register. What can we use them? um, what in what capacity can we use our students and work with our students rather? Workplace barriers include limited accommodations and training. Many individuals face difficulty transitioning from school to work. Supportive employment services like job coaching and improved successes. This is very important. There is a group called the Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation Center. It's services, I'm sorry. It's also it stands for, well, we say often GVRA, but which is Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation Services. And these services are offered to individuals that have a 504 plan and or an IEP. And so their students are able to receive, if they want post-secondary support, meaning that they want to go to college and they need some help with transitioning and making sure they get their accommodations. Or if they want to receive, go to one of the programs that are just specifically for special needs, young adults that have different needs. For example, there's Warm Springs, there's the UGA, Georgia Bulldog program, Georgia Tech has a program, Kennesaw, I think it's 9 amazing programs that are out there for individuals that have special needs that want to get that type of certification. And then there's also the support for individuals that say, I want to go to a traditional college setting. Also, GVRA offers support of job coaching and which is supportive employment and helping them find a job. It's important that we listen to what our students want to do, communicate with them. What would you like to do? What do you have an interest in? It's important to build our students up just like we would do any other student, and not like shoot down their dreams. Okay, I would like to be a baker. All right, so what skills do you have to be a baker? Could we start by maybe working in a bakery at Publix and learning some of those skills, and or working as a bagger in the grocery store and then working our way up to each department to learn? There's so many different ways that we can be creative and go about it so that the students can feel successful and achieve their dreams as well. Employers can promote inclusive and flexible roles and mentorships. This is very key. Having a mentor on their job is very important. It's almost similar to a job coach. A job coach can come in and help those individuals learn the skills, but also once you leave, it should be a mentor there in the business. Say, hey, that just takes an extra eye or extra hand in working with those students. That makes the students in the company feel all that everyone's working in a cohesive way. Inclusive hiring programs untapped talent and skills. Again, this is vital. We need to tap into the skills that our students can have. And then sometimes some of our job descriptions do need to be tweaked so that way it can be more open to all students and individuals with needs or just individuals in the community. Next slide, please. The challenges in community life. Social isolation is common for individuals with developmental disabilities. Nearly 40% of young adults with autism have no social contact, which I think is very, very sad because they have so much, all of our students have so much to offer. All of us have so much to offer. It's just finding that night, that the best place for them to shine. Um, Transportation barriers, limit access to community programs, dating and friendships, and recreation opportunities are often scarce. But we're very fortunate in Fayette County schools. Well, I'm sorry, in the Fayette County area, we have something called Fayette County Parks and Recreation. This Parks and Recreation, they have several programs that are open to the community for a small fee, and some of the fees are actually waived. But they have a section called therapeutic programs where it's just built for young adults that have individual needs, and they have bowling clubs. They have dance clubs, they have movie theater trips, things of that nature, but it's about you guys getting out there and making connections. There's also a group called Exceptional Ops. They have a summer program as well as different sports that they offer throughout the year. Also, I'm very fortunate to be a special education teacher, but a small business owner in Fayette County schools, in Fayette County as well. Again, I own Dreams of Lois Incorporated, where we focus on mentorship, golf and STEM, and community outreach. But one of the programs that we started in 2024 was our therapeutic golf program. So we have a golf program designed for young adults with special needs, where we can meet the students where they are. Golf is a sport that everyone can feel welcomed, no matter what your needs are. We have an amazing teaching professional from the LPGA that is one of our teaching professionals, but we also have an adaptive golfer, Marcus Williams. He is from the GSGA, and he's an adaptive golfer that's in a wheelchair. And he uses an adaptive wheelchair. So golf is for everyone. Our students love to get out there. It actually is good for their fine motor and gross motor skills. It's great for their cognitive support. It's a therapeutic. It's because you're outside, you're in nature. You get to feel the sun. You get to be in the different elements. Also, we have different individuals. We have mentors, young adults that are in college and that mentor the young kids as well in our program. So it's just a space where everyone can feel welcomed and they can feel a part of it, because all students are able to be taught. We just have to meet them where they are. And the other opportunities, adaptive activities and social groups, of course, they reduce isolation. Kids get excited, just like we get excited. We think about when we plan activities with our family and our friends for the weekend or for summer activity. We all get excited about that. Our students have the right, and this community has the right to be excited and to look forward to things like that. Once you place those things out there, our students love to, and I say students, and I apologize because that's a teacher in me, but individuals, they love to be part of our community because this is their community, and we have the right to teach them and break those barriers down and make them feel welcome. Next slide. Okay, inclusive practices in education, inclusive classrooms. We talked about this briefly, can improve academic and social growth, universal design, meets diverse needs, co-teaching, and classroom aids enhances learning and support. For example, you may have two teachers teaming up together and maybe a general education teacher with a special education teacher, and they combine their classroom. That's a great safe place for you guys to teach what our real world looks like, because we don't have, a separate space for everyone in the world. We all work and live cohesively together. So why not start in the school system where they're getting their fundamental education to see that, hey, this works, this model works. And I think if we just set the examples in the community and being strong community partners, we definitely can break those barriers as well. Disability awareness programs and improve social cultures. I know there's a lot of the high schools in Fayette County that have a program called the PALS program. So it's where our typical developing peers work with our young adults, and they pair up together and they're mentors, and they work really well together, and just to show them the ropes, to make sure that everyone feels inclusive. And it's not just about the individual that has different needs, that's learning for the individual that that may have traditional needs. It's about the other way around. The traditional students learning so much from our students or individuals that have diverse needs, because it's about giving and taking. Oh my goodness, I never thought that I would do this approach this way. And this is how the student does it over here compared to what we would traditionally do. So it's just an amazing friendship to watch that foster and grow. I know with our program, with the REACH program, we do have a great group where once a week, our students from another program come down and have lunch with our students. That's a great social aspect. Us getting out the community and working with everyone, it just brings the community closer together, and it just brings awareness and acceptance that because we all need to feel aware of our surroundings and be accepted, because that's what the bigger picture is about. Of course, involving parents in our education planning and supports makes everything successful. Part of what we do in the REACH program is it is a community effort. It's a partnership between the students and their families, the community and the school systems, because you can see when everyone is working together, how much further we can get when everyone comes together for the greater good of an individual. Next slide, please. Inclusive practices in employment. Again, we talked about supportive employment, job coaching, and training. A training class, you may have a training class that may be for 1 week training. So how about we expand that class and make it a 2-week training, so that way we make sure that we give the student or the individual that has different needs additional time to process and to make sure that they're successful. Internships like REACH and Project Search improve work readiness and job readiness skills. Project Search is another program that is through the Fayette County school systems, but it's a partnership with the Fayette Piedmont Hospital, where our students go and they intern at several different internships at the hospital with the hope and supports that they'll be getting a job at the end of the program. A lot of our students have been hired at the Fayette Piedmont Hospital with these amazing skills. And if the students are not hired there, they're successful in other businesses in the community. Um, Employees can adapt to divergent hiring processes. What does that look like? If I don't know what this looks like in the community, if I'm new to this, but I want to make sure that I'm welcoming everyone into my business, a great way to do this is by reaching out to the school system, reaching out to the exceptional education department and say, hey, I really am looking for some support in this area. How can you help? We're very open. We would definitely love to sit down and talk with you guys and just be really creative and come up with great ideas and how we can support the community. Flexible work environments allow students, but that's for everyone. Everyone needs a flexible work environment. Just an individual sitting and working at a desk for 8 hours, that person needs to be able to get up and go outside and take a walk, or maybe work in the courtyard part of their day where they're getting fresh air and sunlight, or work standing up. We just have to be flexible and think outside of the box. And I think when COVID hit, it allowed a lot of us to really think outside the box to see what we can do, as opposed to doing things quote unquote the traditional way. We need to make work environments and learning environments acceptable and adaptable for everyone. Highlighting employee strengths and benefits. We talked about that with the entire team. One thing that I like to do with my amazing team, I have Miss Tina Bavaro, who's been with the REACH program for almost 20 years, and I have Miss Benita Stokes. Of course, Miss Jenny Bellamy is over the Project Search. But one thing that we like to do is we like to sit down and talk about what skills we have, what skills the students are learning in the REACH program, and what skills we need to work on for the next area. That way the students are able to, at the end of the program, they have a very rich cover letter as well as resume that highlights the skills that they have, so they can take it on to the next opportunity that presents itself to them. We can go to the next slide, please. Inclusive practices in the community. Adaptive recreation programs create inclusive spaces. Again, like I highlighted, my inclusive golf program, I have mentors from the college and from the high schools that work with individuals at different needs, but we're also combining the classes together. Find those programs. Have the individuals get support with programs like the PALS program, where we're pairing individuals with different needs together. Supporting living services and enable independent living skills. Sometimes we may say, well, I don't think my individual will be able to live on their own. Let's think about that. How can we make that possible, or how can we work towards that goal? Can they independently make some meals? So let's start working on making healthy meals and things like that. Getting them to teach, looking at what bills look like, or what it looks like to clean a house and things of that nature. Just teaching them the basic skills to build on those skills to reach a goal is absolutely a way to go to make sure that the students' needs are being met. Again, peer mentorship, accessible transportation options, increased engagement. That is very, very true. A lot of individuals do not drive. We definitely need to create more accessible transportation in the community. But also a lot of things that I noticed. I know they have like a senior living bus that may bring help individuals get to and from, but also there's so many different parents that are working on the same page. You guys carpool. There's so many different amazing groups. I think there's like even one Sisters with Autism, things of that nature that are in the community, different groups that I've heard about, that, you know, you can get with another parent and think about how we can carpool and work together, because when teams work together, they're able to accomplish larger goals. Sensory friendly events promote inclusive practices. A lot of like exceptional ops. They have a summer program and different programs throughout the year, but we want to make things that are sensory friendly, so that the whole student, so no one's excluded, but everyone's included, because of course people have different needs, and we want to make sure that everyone's included and feel welcomed. Educating the community is very, very key. That's why having these community partnerships and showing, I like to say showcasing our students, because they're beautiful and they're amazing. And the community needs to see all the amazingness, if you will, that our students have to offer. So I'm having them work in these amazing businesses like Fayetteville City Hall, the different restaurants, as well as the Wear Me promotions, shows the community that, hey, we're sticking together and we love all of our individuals in the community, and we absolutely can achieve this goal together. The next slide, please. Here are some examples of successful programs and initiatives. Of course, Special Olympics. It unifies sports and fosters inclusive teamwork. We have the Special Olympics coming up next week for their spring. We have the Best Buddies program, Reach and Project Search. We have another program I'm not really sure about. I haven't heard too much about this one. It advocates for inclusive policies and services, Autism at Work. Each one of these programs, again, Exceptional Art Ops program, each one of these programs have different skill sets that they're focusing on, but everybody has a collective goal to make sure that they're teaching the whole individual and making sure that their needs are met and that they're being as successful as possible. Also, I have some other information that I can share at the end of this slide in this presentation that I can give to Dr. Glover, and she can share that with you all as well. So that way we can make sure that we have all the resources that we have available to you guys. As well as we have, like I said, I meant to mention our Director of Exceptional Education, which is Dr. Kay Fanning. She's just a wealth of knowledge, and our entire Exceptional Education Department is very, very supportive for our individuals and everyone in the community too. So the school system is definitely a great place to start as well. The next slide, please. Okay, so this is great. And promote, implement, encourage, provide, organize, foster. We've went over a lot of these skills, this area already, but it's of course promoting what our students can do, and then implement. Encourage our students when we're out and about. What services can we provide that can support our students? Organize. We can also, how can we organize with another business or company or student supports to be able to meet all individuals where they need? And then just like foster supportive networks to celebrate the strengths. I think that's very imperative. It's just like I said, important for all of us to work collectively together for the good of the individual and just our community, because our community is beautiful and our community definitely needs to be highlighted and supported in any way that we can. Next slide, please. Oh, and I'm sorry, I can't get that out right now. I'm sorry. Empathizing. We're gonna have to scratch that. Sorry about that. Strengths and disabilities. I need to have some of my water right now. I'm so sorry. I'm getting a little tongue tied. But many individuals with disabilities have exceptional skills. Strengths includes focus, memory, and creativity. A lot of our students are amazing when it comes to their memory. A lot of our students are great when it comes to different maps and things of that nature, money, counting skills. A lot of our students have great people skills. They love to be social and they love to be out and about. We need to highlight these skills. Inclusive support systems unlock the talents. Highlighting the abilities builds confidence and success. Again, we talked about that today in our classroom. What can you do well? What are our students doing well? For example, you're great at organizing. You're great at money skills. You're great at communication. You're great at sending emails and making amazing stories. You're great at people skills, interacting and bringing everyone together. You're great at organizing all the classroom parties. What can we do? I know you do a great job. You're the one that makes sure that we have everything that we need when we're opening up the restaurants at Your Pie or Italian Oven. Just really focusing in on those skills. One of the things that we like to do is talk about what our students have done well for the day, but we also just don't wait to the end of the day. We give them highlights and accolades throughout the day so they can know like, hey, I'm doing a good job. I feel encouraged. I want to move forward. Again, communities benefit from diverse perspectives as well. Encourage and inclusive create lasting projects. So again, with us just working collectively as a community with the education system, the community and the families, we definitely can foster the growth of Fayette County as a whole. Next slide, please. All right. Again, our conclusion, a lot of the things, everyone benefits. We can build stronger, healthier community. Everyone benefits when diversity is embraced. Diversity is beautiful. We absolutely need to embrace it. Schools, workplace, and communities thrive with inclusion, focusing on strengths, empowers individuals to succeed. Together, we can build a world of opportunities for all. And inclusion starts with awareness and action. So it's not just good to say they're doing a great job in the community. If I'm a small business owner, what can I do in our community? How can I help our students? One thing that I do outside of the golf program through my community outreach, one thing that we do is like we're making snack packs or pajama projects. We have a big pajama project that we do a couple of times a year. What I have is my students in the REACH program, they pack the pajamas. They have to organize them, separate them, count them, and make sure that we're preparing them for the different organizations that they need to go to. Also, they're making snack packs for individuals in the communities that are in need. We also have a hygiene closet. So these are all the things that my small business has brought into our teaching community. But as a small business where I work with 4 amazing small businesses, they had to think outside the box. What can we do to help foster that community, the love between our communities and our education system? So if you're a small business, think about some of the tasks that you need help with. And maybe as simple as like, I need some help with shredding, or hey, I definitely want to teach this individual how you can work in the cosmetology field. You know, someone may need support with maybe I can start with like a shampoo person, or, you know, helping organize the different materials that you have in your shop. Just think outside of your box. How can we help you? And that's when we ask, how can we help you? That's how we can grow. So I hope you guys enjoyed our webinar. I hope I didn't go too fast, but I think it was a great opportunity for us to expand and grow and learn from each other. And I thank you, the Fayette County City Hall and government, as well as Dr. Glover, for allowing me to be on this webinar today. And thank you so much for allowing me to work, because I'm actually working from the golf course. So thank you kindly. I appreciate everyone.
Thank you so much, Ms. Cloud, for your wealth of knowledge you provided today, the resources and programs that are afforded to our citizens as well to help focus on enhancing independence and quality of life. Some other treatments that we want to bring forward as well on a clinician end, where you can also go onto the Mental Health Advisory Board hub looking for early intervention services that we want to bring forth and promote. Speech, occupational, and physical therapy are all great significant improvements or ways to improve development outcomes. These therapies can support communication, daily living tasks, motor skills, and sensory integration. So again, you can go into the Mental Health Advisory Board hub so that you can align yourself with some of those resources there. And we're definitely going to pull some of those resources from Ms. Cloud to add on there too. She gave us a lot of great things that we can add on the mental health hub as well for Fayetteville. Ms. Cloud, I just have a few questions that I wanted to just ask you because you're on the front lines. You're there as an educator working with students with IEP and things of that nature. What are some of the barriers that you're seeing within your arena for assessing mental health care for individuals with developmental disabilities? Are you seeing any that you can bring forward for the Mental Health Advisory Board as well, so we can kind of aid in that area as well?
Sometimes I feel like some families and individuals may feel like they're just at this alone,
Okay.
which they're not. I We strive to make the individuals or the families feel like, hey, this is part of our community. And sometimes people are a little afraid or they don't know how to ask for help. And I think that's very important that for them to be able to ask for help and not be afraid. Let them know that all questions are great questions. Sometimes people feel like, well, this is a small question. I may be a little embarrassed to ask. No, ask the question, because if you don't know, how can we get the support that you need? So that's some of the barriers that we see, and just continuing to collectively work together and know that the school system is here for them, the community is here for them, and they just want to see the students grow and progress.
Okay, another question. Do you feel that cultural competence play a role in providing effective care for individuals with developmental disabilities, or you haven't seen or been exposed to that as a major focus currently right now?
So I want to make sure that I completely understand your question. So I hope
So
I'm saying,
becoming culturally competent as a educator or a mental health practitioner, do you find that that is vital to delivering quality care for
oh,
those?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's just extremely vital to the care.
Mhm.
And then of course, coming and helping making the community aware as well, just not from the educational standpoint, but the community.
Okay.
Because sometimes the people in the community don't know. They're so busy and they're engulfed in their work and what their business has entails for them to come up for air and just think like, oh no, there's a need in the community. And actually both, it's a win-win for both the individuals in the community
Mhm.
because they're learning from each other. The individuals are learning patience, another way of doing things in their businesses. And I think it's just I think our job is to be advocates and to speak up and to make as many people as we can aware and to make people more comfortable. Because I think that's a lot, like you said, when we talk about with the stigma,
Absolutely.
some people are not feeling comfortable. But we need to make sure that everyone's feeling comfortable, because sometimes when they don't know something, that's when they feel uncomfortable. But once you start speaking on it and advocating for it, they'll feel more comfortable and want to definitely join in and just help.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much again, Ms. Cloud, for taking the time out to share your knowledge with us. And we definitely would take these things into consideration once we start putting some more things on our board agenda, as well as on the actual hub. But please share some of those important tips with me via email if you do not mind, as well as those resources as well. And I look forward to working with you in the future. So thank you again for tonight's presentation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to your amazing team. Thank you, Dr. Glover, for entrusting me with this amazing task. But we are here to work together, and you guys have an awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone.
Y'all too. Bye-bye.